Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drinkwing Game, and it's something on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Roses in the Flames. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm January up, and let's go! How old are you, Snowy, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 25. I'm heading to be 26 soon. How old does a dragon typically live for? Well, before these pointless wars, we would live on average about 200 years. Now it's less than half that number. Isn't that sad? I said nothing. Well, there are dragons who practice and wield magic, but not much is known about them. Wait, really? Magic exists? Yes, magic exists. Can you believe it? Magic exists, and those who wield it were born into special roles. Have you ever met a dragon who could wield magic? No, although I know of a dragon by rumor who wields magic. I believe she resides in the Moonshadow Peaks. It's west from here. I haven't been there myself, though. Actually, let's step outside the hallway. Is that alright? Sure. I saw Magma watching from a close distance behind. Can she hear us? What was that? I asked if Magma could hear us from where she's standing. I didn't feel comfortable with her listening to what I'm about to say. Snowy looked behind her shoulder, only to see Magma was too far to hear anything from us. She won't hear us. Walk with me. Where are we going? Sorry, it looked like you were about to speak. It's alright. I plan to take you around the hospital as a tour. I have a feeling you'll be back here. Besides, I do need you here for further study. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study the anatomy of a human. I have to know what exactly makes a human. I hope you don't mind. I find it very fascinating that I'm even talking to you right now. I find it aggravating that Magma treated our new scientific discovery with such malfeasance. There's something about Officer Magma that I think you should know. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but she's known to take her job too seriously. I had to treat a few patients who came here who were injured by her. Y'all, give me 1 second, y'all. Be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. We're back. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but she's known to take her job too seriously. I had to treat a few patients who came here who were injured by her. Wait, so why isn't Magma in jail for abuse? Because she was found to be justified in each of those cases. But me personally, I think she took it too far. The worst case being someone who came in with a broken paw and a broken lower jaw. So, I know she isn't allowed to harm you, but I would still treat her with reverence. She told you, right? Told me what? Her fiancé died fairly recently, and she's still recovering from that. She used to be quite a bit nicer before that happened. I think she could use a vacation. She never takes days off, and she overperforms and puts in too many hours. If she keeps it up, she might end up as another statistic where cops quit from overworking and stress. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist, but she can't keep doing what she's doing. I saw Magma walk up toward us. What are you guys talking about over here? We were talking about Rowan, and I asked if I could take a blood sample from Rowan. That's definitely what we're talking about. We're about to go on a tour. Want to come? Isn't that what I'm doing? I'm giving you a tour around the entire city. My task is to follow you around and make sure you aren't up to anything. Well, let's go then, Snowy? Walk this way then. I think I just saw Caledon from the window. Please tell me he's leaving. Caledon. Ha. I think I lost him, but you'll be okay, Snowy. Who's Caledon? I don't think any of the girls in this town like Caledon. However, I don't think talking about him is exactly appropriate right now. I looked at Snowy's face just briefly, and I could see she was uncomfortable when that name was brought up, so I decided not to talk about it, whatever it may be. Could we resume the tour, please? Magma grumbled, and we continued our tour to the next hallway. This is the West Wing. This is where we keep all the eggs before they are sent off to the town hatchery. Right now, we aren't going inside because a live session is going on right now. Magma shot a look at Snowy. I guess it was because she didn't want me knowing where any of the hatcheries were. And over here on the right, you'll see the outside courtyard. Right now, we're at the back of the hospital. What was that? That little... That was interesting. She did a 360. Zoop. You can also make out the sensory garden from here. Its purpose is to calm patients down after suffering from a mental health episode. Sometimes it does the trick, and sometimes it doesn't. Magma knew all too well, of course. She had to arrest several patients who were at the hospital for acting in a disorderly conduct and breach of peace. Over by the end of this hallway is the snack room. Are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Ooh, no. That does look good. Wyvern Crunch. True. Dreamweaver Bites. Dragon Pepper Scales. What's that Coke? Is that Park? Forest Walkberry Blast. Fruck. What is this? Waves. Drots. Ember Bites? Oh, I like that. Fire Claws. Gummy Smile. Fireberry Fizzle Pop. That sounds pretty good. Old Dragon. Fish Crunch Chips. Molten Delight. What else do we have? Fizzleberry Pop. Fizzleberry Pop. 3 different kinds of Fizzleberry Pop. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna try the snack machine. This shit looks good. There's so many choices, but the names of these snack brands were so strange. There was Molten Delight, Ember Bites, Fireberry Fizzle Pop, and another one called Wyvern Crunch. What should I eat? Molten Delight. You have chosen Molten Delight. My favorite flavor of those Ember Bites you see at the top left. I heard Magma scoff slightly. Nah, if you want to be a real dragon, you choose those Molten Delights. Those are pretty good. Wait, Magma is being relatable for once? Okay, well, I don't have $1 on me. A what? Look, I'll pay for it. Magma reached in her blue sash, which I assume is where she kept some of her belongings, and she gave me this gold-looking coin. Wow! A gold coin! I could buy so much with this, I thought. Oh. For the first time, I think I could see Magma smile. A single coin is nothing. Rowan, it's not worth much. It's a ripoff. Where I come from, this might as well could buy me a new car. A car? What is a car? You know, vroom vroom? A car that could take people anywhere they wanted to go? Never mind. You wouldn't know about those. Alright, let me back up a little bit. What else do we have? The Fizzleberry Pop. Fizzleberry Fizzle Pop. Fireberry Fizzle Pop. What the fuck am I saying? What was her? The Ember Bites. Ooh, the Ember Bites. There we go. My favorite flavor of those Ember Bites you see at the top left. Oh, so that doesn't really do anything. Okay. That's fine. The gold coin! You know, vroom vroom. What else is under that sash of yours? And then Magma was frowning again. My money and my police ID. Can I see your ID? Magma gave off her usual intimidating stare, but she reached into her sash, but she didn't pull it out like I expected her to. I'd rather we wait, okay? Now, put the coin in the machine. Magma reached out from behind me after I hesitated for a moment. She took the coin from my hands and she placed it in some sort of coin slot. Next, she pushed the button that said Molten Delights. Do you think Rowan would like that, Magma? I don't know. Do you like honey and caramel? Magma looked at me and I shrugged. I'm pretty ready to try new things. Looks like I'll be getting 2 snacks today instead of 1. Magma replied to me and said, Good, now you can see what it's like having something else other than what you had back home for a change. Magma was being nice to me. Why? What was something so little as getting a snack could warrant this relatable behavior? I remember going through this exact same thing through high school when I bought those horrible fruit snacks that stick to the roof of my mouth. The machine thanked and told us to have a nice day while giving me the package of Molten Delights. I touched the top, and I was surprised they weren't selling air. Wait, there's no air at the top! What do you mean? Of course it's filled to the top. Ha, yeah. Human food sucks like that. I do have some other patients to attend to in a few hours. Surprisingly, today hasn't been busy. I was about to do something. What was it? Follow me, please. Why did she have that look on her face? Snowy, what are you doing? Sneaky dragoness. Snowy walked me and Magma to another part of the hospital. I forgot to ask you earlier, but what do you make of your experience by being here so far? Magma, is it alright if you walk down the hallway? There's something I'd like to ask Rowan about. Alright, let me know if you need me. Anyways, I'm just surprised that dragons do exist. You're bringing that up again? Do you remember when I was the one who protected you from Magma? She could have hurt you or killed you. Yeah, she nearly choked me to death. Couldn't she have just respected my rights as an individual? It was too excessive. Magma's a police officer. She's nice once you get to know her a lot more and befriend her, but she is timid and intimidating most of the time. Timid and intimidating? Okay. Her heart is in the right place, but sometimes her mind is not. I mentioned it before. She doesn't feel the same ever since her fiancé passed away. I feel sorry for her, but why does she have to be so mean all the time? It's not right. I concur with that statement, but we both have difficult jobs. My job is to look after those who are wounded, but Magma is one of the first dragons on a horrific scene or worse. She sometimes suffers from traumatic stress disorders or PTSD. I believe that term was coined by the humans for post-traumatic stress disorders. Does Magma take any drugs to help? Well, I gave her a prescription for Prazithar and Cinepraz, but only the Cinepraz worked. She still has nightmares. That's no good. I glanced beyond the hallway where I saw Magma standing watch. You could tell Magma wanted to do something else. What are the drugs you mentioned? Prazithar and Cinepraz. Cinepraz gives you energy to last throughout the day, while Prazithar helps treat PTSD symptoms and night terrors. Magma comes here often to speak to me about treatment. She said she would rather speak to me than a therapist. Magma explained to me that they are money-grubbing pigs. She never let me hear half of it, but I'll take her word for it. So, why are they money-grubbing pigs? Well, this didn't come from me, but I believe some are inefficient and some may be spies. Spies? Yes, spies. I believe some are spies because when our troops come home from battle, some of them can act in a way that let's just say it shouldn't be public. I remember seeing a few such cases myself, and I couldn't help but feel sorry for them. I've seen the aftermath and the horrors of what battle does to the state. Where I came from, we had wars too. Were they as bad as ours? Yes, what I learned in history class. The best way I could describe is that in the previous century, the one before I was born in, there were at least 4 wars I could count. Our wars have been going on and off for hundreds of years. It's nothing new. I was born when the war was still going on. When was the last time you guys caught a break? The last time I think we had a neutral environment in this district, if I can remember from class, was probably about 120 years. 120 years? That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear about that. What we had were 2 world wars and the war with Vietnam, and the Cold War, but that wasn't an actual war where any fighting took place. It was a technology war. What other issues did the humans have besides these wars you tell me about? Well, we had different groups of politicians, and we had issues with the drug trade where people died from those too. We had murder and theft as well as bribery. Ah, so nothing new then. Nothing has changed since. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!